Hi, I'm Andy Horwood. I am a trans-fast non-binary poet from Essex. I am a self-proclaimed poet with a deep-set, unending yearning to write something that could move mountains and not feel 6 feet under them. I write lots of different things about mental health, gender, pretty much everything that I go through, I put it in a poem. Today I am going to be reading some poems about being trans. My first one is called Pride, and this is it. I want to tell you that you're going to be okay. That by the time you've grown into who you need to be, people won't mind anymore. But we both know that's not true. You're always going to need a thick skin and quick comebacks for thick people who would demand that you are what you were assigned at birth, as if people can't grow. But I'm going to watch you blossom into the person you know you are, despite the obstacles society will throw at you. Every single trans kid challenges society just by existing, and that is the most beautiful thing about this community. You are going to be the best version of yourself. You are going to be happy. So that was Pride. I'm going to also read one called Bearing Fruit. And it was actually from a prompt on Instagram. And I didn't really realise I was going to write about being trans, and then I did. So that was really fun. So yeah, this is Bearing Fruit. The branches hang heavy. The tree fulfilling its only purpose, the one thing it is grown for. As a sapling, it grew one fruit, the weight of its destiny creating a bow in its stability. I stand under the fig tree, green fingers green with envy. It knows why it was brought into this world. It has helped bring more trees into the world. It has fulfilled its destiny. And then, once its rings outnumber the years I stand under it, it will continue to have a purpose beyond bearing fruit. I am going a little bit deep now. I'm going to read one that's called Rebellion. I wrote it after going to a vigil for trans youth in 2011, and it really hit home for me. So I came home and I wrote this poem. So it's called Rebellion. I could have been another teen trans suicide statistic with the wrong name on the gravestone. I've thought about it. I am part of the statistic of 59% of trans youth that have self-harmed. I'm not ashamed to say this time last year I cried in my counsellor's office saying things would be better. I'm better off dead. Because it's hard. And unless you've been here, stood in my shoes, walked my transition, you don't understand. But if I'd given up, then I wouldn't have seen my brother get into uni and get first. I wouldn't have discovered what it's like to be for someone who not only accepts me but stands next to me proudly, not despite who I am, but because of who I am. I wouldn't have become a published poet. I wouldn't have seen bands live with my best friends, and I wouldn't have gone on road trips and really understood what it means to be 20-something. It's scary to know that a 14-year-old took her life last year due to harassment for her gender. It's scary to know that some of the people closest to me hate who I am. It's scary to know that trans people are murdered just for being someone that they don't want to kill. I don't like who I am now. But looking back, I am my favourite version of me. While I may still feel like I'm at standstill and that I'm going nowhere where I want to be, just being myself is an act of rebellion. And now, to be less sad, this is a love letter. This is a love letter to my body. Thank you to my feet for always carrying me from the day I learnt to walk. Although sometimes I trip and fall, I always get back up. Thank you to my knees for always grounding me and reminding me of my limits and never being scared to yell at me when I reach them. Thank you to my hips, my childbearing hips. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a seahorse dad. To my chest, we're getting there. To my stomach, I'm sorry for the years of trauma I put you through, for hating you just for existing, the pulling and prodding and cutting. I now love my chub. Thank you to my hands, because you give me the chance to hold so many things, like my rabbits when they're scared and they just made a lot of noise. And I can feel their hearts beating so fast, and my partner's hand when I'm scared, and he can feel my heart beating so fast. And to my brain, I know we're not always on the same page, but thank you for all the things you've talked yourself out of, but also all the things you've talked yourself into. And finally, thank you to my body. I love my body. I'm sorry for spending years of my life hating you when your sole purpose is to keep me alive. So that was nice, wasn't it? This is another I love my body thing, because we don't hear enough about trans people loving their bodies. So I wrote I went through a phase of just writing a lot about how much I love my own body because, hey, I can love my body. Just because it's not the body I wish I had doesn't mean I have to hate it. So that's what I did. So this one is just called I Am Not Cis. I love my trans body. Note how I said trans body and not just body because I am proud of that label, although I didn't choose it. I love my trans legs and my trans childbearing hips. I love my trans shoulders. I love being slight and the fact they're not broad. I love my trans hands. I love painting my nails because who said slapping some paint on them is girly? I love my trans face, my narrow, soft face. I love all these things that I once wrote about hating. I love my body because it's the only one I will ever have. I'm growing into it. I love my trans body for opening doors to me. I can do things that other people would find impossible. I can be a seahorse dad. I can get blood out of clothing. I never have to be experienced being kicked in the Goonies. I love my birth name. When I think about the time it took my parents to choose it, the love they put into it, but I'm growing into Andrew now. I love the changes I'm experiencing as a trans individual. I love hearing my voice crack and watching my Adam's apple grow. I hate the assumption that because I am trans, I hate my body. My body is mine. It is not cis. I love my trans body. That was nice, wasn't it? And this is my penultimate one. Oh no, it's not. I was wrong. This one is about labels because, like I said in the last one, I didn't choose my label. The society chose our labels for us, and I find that crazy because we all get these labels, and not being cis het, people are like, oh, you're not normal. Who says what normal is? No. So this one's just called labels. I wear my labels on the outside, like my clothes are inside out, and when people tell me they're hanging out, I don't tuck them in and hide them, because I am not ashamed of my label. The things other people have put on me, the things they want me to hide because they make them uncomfortable. I wear my veganism on the outside. I wear my queerness on the outside. I wear my transness on the outside. I wear my tribality on the outside. I wear my disability on the outside. I have the empathy I have because I don't eat any animals. I love the way I love because I don't care what your gender is. I fight the way I fight because if I don't, someone I know or I might be killed. I socialise in daylight because I've seen a side of alcohol I don't want to repeat. I stand up for people around me because sometimes I can't even stand up for myself. And I hope this makes you uncomfortable. I hope you feel like I do when I see people treating other creatures as if they are subpar. I hope you feel everyone will stare at you when you walk down the road holding your partner's hand. I hope you feel like there's ants in your skin every time you look in the mirror. I hope everyone asks you why you can't be normal and drink champagne on your 18th birthday. I hope someone tells you your broken leg can't be real because they didn't see you break it. I repel normal. I hope no one ever refers to me as normal. I don't use these labels to feel special. I don't use them to be better than you. You gave me them. I've acquired many labels over my life. Freak, faggot, tranny, he, she. But you thought every time you reminded me I wasn't normal, you were breaking me down, but you weren't. I hope I can show someone somewhere it's okay to wear your clothes inside out, even if you start with a sock. It's okay to not be normal. It's okay to love your labels. That's a nice one too. This is actually my penultimate one. So I am a Stonewall young campaigner, and I spent 4 days in this most amazing environment with Stonewall and met the most amazing people, and I came home and was like, I have to write about this. So this is called Intersectional Utopia. I spent 4 days in an intersectional utopia in a remote village. I thought I'd feel cut off from society, but it turned out by being myself, society had cut me out. I spent 4 days discovering what I wanted society to be like. Queer, accepting, and accessible. I spent 4 days not worrying about other people's misconceptions about me. 4 days without having to educate or debate my existence. Just 4 days living in a society built for people like me. People like us are going to change the world. We refuse to accept the way we were treated. We refuse to fold ourselves down to fit society's mould. We're creating our own path, leading the way for generations to come. Our names will go down in history. We are disabled, but not less abled, not differently abled. We are NHS workers, college students, activists, amnesty volunteers, retail workers. We have our place in your society. Do you have a place in ours? We've infiltrated you. We are your brothers, sisters, siblings. We are your friends and family. We are everything in between, everything you fear. We are the future of society. walk with us, or move out the way. And this is actually my final one. This is called Absence. It's one of my shortest poems. I always end my sets on this because I think it's really poignant. So this is Absence. The weight of my anatomy is heavy on my shoulders. I am always acutely aware of the missing weight between my legs. I'm Andrew Horwood. This has been my poetry.